Joe, I think that's the conversation we got to have. This kid, Connor Griffin, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they believed in him. You know what they did? They rewarded him. Didn't even play in the bigs. They said, hey, we believe in this guy so much, we're giving him a 9-year, $140 million contract extension right meow. Would you do that for Bryce Eldridge right now, Giants fans? That same contract, same thing. 9 years, $140 million for Bryce Eldridge. 888-957-9570. And I'd be hard-pressed to say no. Like, and that's not the question is whether or not Buster Posey and company are going to do it, because there is a financial aspect of whether they would offer that right now, let him keep playing under his RB or whatever. But if I had the opportunity, I think it would be stupid not to approach him right now to just start to get the feelers out with his management. Say, hey, Bryce, how you feel about, I don't know, 8-9 years? How's 130, 125 million sound? How's it sound? Sounds pretty good, right? How's generational wealth and being set for the rest of your life and the rest of your family's lives? How does that sound? Hard to pass up. You know, it's kind of apropos too, Joe, as we're watching the Giants play the Atlanta Braves. That's the Atlanta Braves model and why they've been so successful for so long and being one of the best, teams. They identified their talent at a young age, and they gave all these guys 7-8-year deals at a solid price point per year. Go to Ronald Acuna. We mentioned Ozzie Albies, Olsen, Sean Murphy, et cetera, et cetera. They were able to do that.
Well, there's been when you're talking about locking someone up early, you're buying out some of the arbitration years, and you're going to take some of those free agent years. We were talking about people's primes yesterday.
Yep.
And I kept telling you that I actually think in some sports the prime is boosted up. Like, I don't really want you from 31 to 36 in baseball.
There's only few players that I would believe in.
Especially if you're a pitcher.
Oh, no.
Right?
No.
But,
That's gone too far.
I do believe that, there was a line of demarcation when it comes to these contracts, these premature contracts. Let me read off some of the numbers from the beginnings. This is a couple years back. 14 years, 341 for Fernando Tatis Jr.
And he was, 21 when he signed
20.
that? 20, okay.
11 for 289 for Bobby Witt Jr.
You love Bobby Witt.
I do.
You're doing that deal every day.
I would do that deal. Yeah. Tatis, though.
It's a cautionary tale, right?
He's already been suspended. I mean, there's just a lot. Wander Franco, 11 for 182.
Yikes.
Do you like the Austin Riley deal, 10 for 212?
Not right now.
Julio Rodriguez, 12 years, $209 million.
I really like Austin Riley, by the way. Don't get it twisted.
I do too.
But I don't know if I love that deal this season. He's going to be 30.
I know.
He's going to be 30.
So those were like the heavy mega deals. The more recent deals, meaning the last 2 years, I just wrote down a bunch of them. Detroit's McGonigal, 8 for 150.
Professor.
It's a lot better. Connor Griffin, 9 for 140.
Yeah.
Jackson Merrill, who's having a bad year this year, 9 for 135. That number isn't that bad. It's a lot of years, but that number's not bad. Roman Anthony, 8 for 130, struggling this year.
Yes.
These are where the good values come in. PCA, 6 for 115.
Seems like a steal right now, right?
Hell yeah. Yordan Alvarez, 6 for 115. Corbin Carroll, 8 for 111.
That's the one for me. 8 years? That price point? What is that? It's $13 million a season?
And then Colt Emerson, the left-handed pitcher, or the starting pitcher, for Seattle, 8 for 95. So you're saying, lock him up. Deep breath.
I would have the conversation.
I've got a lot of bad contracts right now, right? That are mega deals. Am I moving off of them before I sign him? I'm just asking that question.
Probably, yes.
Okay, who?
Chapman. Let's just get that one off the way.
Okay,
this seems the most likely right now.
So I'm giving. How many years are you going to commit to Bryce Eldridge?
I just said, give me the Connor. Just make it simple for the audience.
Okay.
Give me the Connor Griffin deal.
So
Connor Griffin signed 9-year, $140 million contract extension at the start of the season. Didn't even play, by the way. Bryce, this would take him to his age 30 year.
Okay.
So if he signs 9 years right now, taking him to his early 30s. I know.
So
I do it though.
9 years from now, but just hear me out. 9 years from now would be 2035, right? Okay. So 7 of those years, Raffy Devers and him would be committed to the books at the same position 7 of those 9 years.
Yeah. But you'd think I'm probably going to move off of Raffy Devers. You'd think, right?
So as I asked you, do you move off of someone before you like commit to Bryce Eldridge? I almost think you have to move off of Devers at some point. If the second you sign Bryce Eldridge to a 7 or 8 year deal, you're basically sending the signal to Raffy Devers, you're done.
Or I'm sending the signal that, hey, maybe I feel like we can build with both you guys. Maybe we can make this work. I mean, I don't think it's going to, Joe. Maybe, but maybe the organization feels that way. They clearly saw something in Raffy, even when they knew Bryce was in the pipeline, right? So they thought in their minds, why can't these two work together? That had to have come up in conversations. Had to have.
Yeah, but I think Bryce has exceeded their expectations.
Real quick, Sam, I'm putting you on the spot, and Carter. Can we find them talking about, maybe it's the introductory presser, Posey or Manassian talking about how Bryce and Raffy fit together? Can we? I know he was asked about it at some point. Putting you on the spot. If you can, great. If not, don't worry about it. But I got to feel like there was conversations there. And we're asking the question, Giants fans, 888-957-9570. With the recent emergence of Bryce Eldridge, would you give him kind of the Connor Griffin deal for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who didn't play a game for them in the major leagues, and they signed into a 9-year, $140 million contract like that? Would you do that same deal? I
have no problem signing him. But I think that you have other things that need to be done before you do that. So, like,
but wouldn't that signal to the fan base and the organization, we got our guy? Like, we got our guy.
We know we have our guy.
Yes.
We know we have our guy. Like, we just know it.
Okay.
All right? And so, like, name a guy that the Giants have had that they tried to retain who was already on their team that they didn't, that they wanted.
Like coming through the pipeline.
Just a guy
I was going to say Kevin Gosman I would like to have. But,
yeah, that was a 1-year deal. I'm talking about a guy that was under team control for however many years that they didn't try to re-sign. Or excuse me, that they tried to re-sign that didn't want to stay with them.
It's a good recent example. I can't find one.
Yeah. Pablo?
Yeah, but they brought him back. But yeah, Pablo. But there was also more to the Pablo thing.
More.
Yeah, that was
way more. But going back to Pablo, remember, part of what alienated Pablo was that you gave money he thought was earmarked to him to Hunter Pence.
Well, another part of this conversation, Joe, is I want to get him at a really solid price point now, because if you believe, which I know you do, he's going to be one of the best studs in baseball a couple years from now. Well, that contract's going to double or triple.
Well, but
I don't want to do that. That's what's happening with the A's right now and Kurtz, because he's the American League version of this. He was the Rookie of the Year last year. He's been balling this year, probably going to be an All-Star again. Like, he knows his worth. He's like, you're not going to give me one of these Connor Griffin deals. I'm going to make $250, $300 million.
Yeah, but if I'm the Giants, I think that there's two things that are definitely coming down the pipe. One, CBA. How does that affect the contract?
It's true.
And then the second one, can we finish the year out? Can you just finish a year?
If I can get him at the right price point now, though.
No, I get what you're saying, but like, if you're good, I have no problem paying you hella money and a hella years. I have no problem with that. I don't think anyone has a problem with that.
No, but you would like, as a fan, can we all agree, it makes things a lot easier. Why are we talking about Raffy Devers' contract being so awful and bloated? It's because of the years attached to it for the price point. If I can get him on 9-year, $140 million, doesn't that make things more flexible elsewhere?
I don't see him signing for that little right now. I just don't. And I mean, the guy
21 years old, I'm offering you $140 million. It is tough to pass up, right?
Let's also remember it. This is a 21-year-old who stood in a room full of hundreds of millions of dollars of contracts. Like, yeah, I want to be the face of this team. I think he believes in himself, and I got no problem paying him a little extra money. I really don't. I have no problem paying him a little extra money and just being prudent, because I think that there are other things. I'm not saying don't re-sign him. Of course, I want to re-sign him. And extend him. What I'm saying is that I think you do have to figure out what's going on with Devers long term, and I think you do need to figure out which one of the other guys that you can move at this deadline. And then once you settle those things, all right, now we take a deep breath, and then we'll start hammering out some sort of a long-term extension for Bryce Eldridge. There's just no need to worry about it right now. He's going nowhere. You've got 3 years of suppressed salary, then you get 3 more years of arbitration. So you are totally fine. He's not going anywhere. He's going to make money. We're good. Do you want to buy out some years? Yeah, and that'll take care of itself. I think there are other pressing issues on this roster that need to be sorted out before I get to him. And plus also, if you prematurely sign him, what does that do to Devers right now? That could platoon his trade value if he's like, whoa, you're going to give this guy an 8-year deal and he starts losing it. Like,
I think his trade value is already shot, to be honest, Devers. I don't think that we're ever going to recoup. They're never going to recoup what they gave up to get Raffy Devers.
Well,
that's never going to happen. Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, they're probably going to have to eat money anyways on Devers' contract.
Yeah, but you don't want to make
care.
him a malcontent.
Yeah, I don't really care, though. I don't care. I have my face of the franchise right here. I got my guy.
Yeah, but every day that goes on in a clubhouse.
And you know what? Like we're paying you, Raffy. No, screw that. Who did we just have on that said, hey, Raffy, hey, we're paying you, dude? Brett Boone last week.
Yeah.
You do whatever the hell we tell you to do. We're paying you.
He made it pretty miserable for Boston.
Yeah, you know what? And then maybe you should have known that when you got the guy and brought him in, Buster. That's what I would tell him. Dave Flemming was on with us yesterday. Really great interview. Joins us every single week. This is what he had to say on Bryce Eldridge and his development right now. And, maybe we were just overblowing everything that took place early on.
I got you guys, but you guys weren't alone in being worried about where the Giants are hindering his development. And that's where I pushed back on that because I just saw behind the scenes the work that was going in. Like being around the big league coaching staff, the big league hitting coaches, the big league manager was not going to be a bad thing for this guy. Like Bryce wasn't just sitting around doing crossword puzzles on the day that he wasn't in the lineup. He's a worker. And so being here and being around these guys was going to help him no matter what.
And it really has helped him. And maybe a guy like, I don't know, he hasn't talked about it, but maybe Raffy Devers, maybe, going on his year, or Luis Ariz, Matt Chapman. He's been a sponge, obviously, early on here, and he's soaking up all this knowledge, and you're seeing it at the plate right now. And we're asking the question, Giants fans, 888-957-9570. Would you offer Bryce Eldridge a 9-year, $140 million contract extension right now? Would you lock this guy up long-term until he's 30 years old right now if given the opportunity at the right price point? I'm saying I would right now. And I would be knocking on his door to get this thing done. Not only to get the right price point for me and my organization, because I look at a team like the Atlanta Braves, who they do that with. Who's their top dog, Joe? Who's their best player in the organization?
Ronald Acuna.
What'd they give him?
Yeah, but he's been hurt like crazy.
It was a big risk, but you know what? I think they still do that contract again. Right? What was it, Ronald Acuna? I have it right here.
I don't have it in front of me.
Hold on. Ronald Acuna, contract, Braves, right here. All right. 8 years, $100 million. $100 million extension when he signed that 2019.
I just don't think, a couple things. Let's say he plays this year out, and you wanted to give him some sort of an extension. Do you think that changes it by $150 million?
Might. I mean, we're realizing right now some of these bloated contracts on the team, it matters.
So you think
Joe, we're talking about why we didn't bring in Tyler Rogers for $40 million. It's because we have bloated contracts of Chapman, Adames, and Devers. I'm telling you right now, this wouldn't be a bloated contract at that price point. It just wouldn't be.
No, but I guess where you and I differ on this is that, like, let's say, 150. I'm going to do raw numbers here. 8 for 150, right? Let's say he plays, you wait a couple months, you figure out the Devers, Adames, Chapman thing, right? That settles, okay? And let's say it costs me an extra $50 million over the life of the deal, right? So now we're up to $200 million, right? This is how I do math, okay? Sure. Break that down. 8 divided by $50 million overall in the life of the contract over 8 years. We're talking about $6-7 million, an extra $6 or $7 million a year. I gave Tom Murphy that. So, like, I'm in no rush right now. I get your point. Like,
but the Giants are telling you organizationally that $6 to $7 million clearly matters to them because they didn't address the bullpen or starting pitching. They're telling you they're penny pinching with that stuff.
No.
Those big contracts matter. Why do you think they didn't do that this offseason, Joe? Why didn't you think they didn't go after more bullpen guys?
I get. Well, bullpen guys cost $12 to $15 million, not $6.
Okay.
And I guess what I'm saying is if I'm investing into Bryce Eldridge long term, $6 million, like give or take, $6 million over the life of the deal, it's just not a deal breaker for me. Like, I'm in no rush right now. And I'm not saying I don't want to extend. Of course I do.
But
I just think there are other things.
But wouldn't you feel better as a fan? Because you're one of the biggest Giants fans I know at that price point, 8 years, 150, as you just said. Wouldn't you feel so much better about this team? It's like, wow.
But he's not going anywhere. He's under team control for 6 years. Of course
he's not going anywhere. And now I'm making sure he's not going anywhere. And it's at the price that I want. Not what he wanted or wanted now. Because if he looks down the road, he might want a bigger contract. It's like, oh boy, I'm like a perennial all-star and I'm making this compared to what others could be making. Like, yeah, I want that price point if I'm the Giants. I want it on my terms.
Well, right now, his price is literally $850,000 a year.
We're projecting this whole conversation.
No, I know, but I think it's really important. Like, in this sport, they have all the power right now, just this second, because he will not hit free agency until 5 to 6 years from now.
Absolutely. And yes, this is the Connor Griffin method is what we're basically talking about, what they're doing. Because the Pirates see something special in him, and I know the Giants fans see something special in Bryce right now. I don't think
3 months, 4 months, waiting this thing out is going to dramatically affect the amount of money that he's willing to sign for.
Well, what about the new CBA? What if there's a salary cap? Doesn't that make things a little bit different? Huh?
Well, as in what?
If there's a salary cap, don't you want to reduce price point for this guy?
If there's a salary cap, what I would say is that like they might have ramifications in place similar to the way the NBA does, where you can only extend a guy 5 years.
Maybe.
You know, and that might be the smart play. Well, I don't love a lot of these 10 to 12 year deals. I just don't.
Okay, so you don't want to give Bryce like that many years. Well, is basically what it is.
6 to 7 to 8 years, and then look, we can always bring you back for more down the line. Like I'm asking you, like, do you love 14-year commitments to 21-year-olds?
14 years is a stretch. I didn't say 14. 8 or 9, don't mind that at all.
Okay.
Because he'll be 30. Like 30. He'll still be in his prime, technically. Yeah.
Even 9's a lot. I'm just... 6, 7, 8 is like the sweet spot for me. I mean, 9, 10, an 11-year commitment to Wander Franco. A 10-year commitment to Austin Riley. 11, I love Bobby Witt Jr. 11...
Yeah, but I love an 8-year deal with Corbin Carroll at $111 million. I do love that. He's been a baller for them, averaging only $13 million a year on that contract.
And then he would have an opportunity to hit free agency by the time he's 29 years old, which is then I can kind of reassess where I'm at. I'm not in this crazy rush to sign anyone to a 10-year deal.
Dave Flemming yesterday.
10 years.
Give him to me, baby. Come on, Bryce. Let's get this thing done.
I mean, 10 years. Think about this, though. Just like 10 years.
Yes.
Like a 10-year deal is crazy.
We're talking about Bryce being untouchable and being that dude, right?
Yeah, how many I'm asking, like, it just without research.
Everything for the next 15 years.
Trust me, I'm well aware.
But 15, huh?
How many 10-year deals worked out great?
Well, that was 10. Let's get 15. Juan Soto's on a 15-year deal right now.
And that will not age well. I think we kind of know.
They already hate that deal out there in New York.
You get what I'm saying? Like 10 years?
Okay.
Look,
here's some guys, though. Here's some guys, to your point. Either the Dodgers regret giving Mookie Betts a 12-year contract.
Well, they've won World Series, but I don't love the amount of years that's attached to him.
You think the Blue Jays are going to regret giving Vlad Jr. 14 years?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Okay. Do you think...
At the end, they will.
Do you think the Dodgers are going to...
He's got 14, so he's got 13 more years.
The baller is the face of the franchise. What you do to the face of the franchise is you give them money. That's what you do, Joe. This is what you're flirting with, by the way. If you don't extend him now,
I'm just a big believer in like give someone what they're worth, but also like make them have to like re-earn it again. And if they do, then I have no problem re-upping you. I don't love handing out 10 to 15. Well, I know
you love the NFL model where it's like you have to be constantly prove it every single season. This is baseball though, Joe. It's all guaranteed, brother.
And this is why there's a CBA lockout.
Yeah, there's going to be. But again, let's get this grandfathered in now, get him at our price point, 8-9 years. Don't have to worry about that. Joe, come on. You're kidding yourself. If you saw the notification this morning or tomorrow morning from Jeff Passan, Giants signed Bryce Eldridge, 8-year, $150 million contract.
I told you, eight's not bad. 10, 11, 12, those are crazy to me.
But I said 9-year. Like, is that a big difference for you, 9 versus 8?
I mean,
we're quibbling of over a year.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, to me, there is a difference between 8 and 10. Like, there is.
I'm not saying 10. Let's just go. If that makes you feel better, fine.
Yeah.
8-year, 150. You're good with that?
I mean, I would do that. But I would also understand, like, the second you ink that, other guys on the team are going to feel a certain way. And I mean, Raffy, he just is, Joe.
That's his problem.
No, I agree with you, but you as a team are going to have to deal with that. Would you agree with me?
Sure, but I think they would tell him, it's like, dude, we think Bryce is the future, but we also think you're a part of our future too. We took on your contract. We believe in you, not the Red Sox. They didn't believe in you. We did.
What started them not believing in him? Bringing in Bregman on a 1-year deal, like, threw him into, like, shambles.